All right. All right. Let's see. How's the multi-stream looking? How are we doing here? Can we get the fucking shot up? There we go. Look at us. Look at us all here. All none of you so far. What the fuck is good, ladies and gentlemen? Flay, 12:27. Look at you guys. Look at you guys bright and fucking early here. What is up? I'm here. I made it. Don't worry. Nothing to worry about. What the fuck is good? Goated. I don't know, man. I'm fucking chilling, dude. I put on a white t-shirt that is super fucking tight. Yeah, that's about all I got. Bills fans here. Derek's here. Goated's here. Kmart's here. Cord's here. What a fucking rockin' start we had so far. What are you guys up to, man? I got nothing. I don't know what's good. I sat around, watched the Mets tonight. Did a little running on my treadmill. It was a good night all around. Yeah, that's that. That's really all that I got to do tonight. Mike, what's going on, my man? I got a question. What do you got for me there, Bills fan? There we go. There's the fucking chat. I'm waiting for that. Can we talk about the Lions versus Ravens last night? We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Let me tell you, I was very, 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 very impressed by the Detroit Lions. I might have been a little bit wrong about them. I could have been wrong. I said that the Lions were washed. I said losing two coordinators was going to completely ruin them. I might have been wrong. I want basketball. We talk whatever you guys want to talk about. I am here to appease you guys. I'm here. We could bring up whatever. We'll talk about whatever you guys have to say. I got good news with my arm. It was a partial tear. I should be back in a month. Good. That's good, Goated. I'm glad to hear that, man. That's something that, like with your arm, it should heal itself. The muscles around it should, in time. No basketball? All right, so I got one for basketball, one for no basketball. But we can talk. Like I said, you guys have anything you want to discuss, we will absolutely jump right into it. I honestly don't have anything in mind. I don't have a thing I want to talk about. Rockets should get Russ. You think? So in my high school class, I got moved away from my friends, but next to my crush, and I think she got a crush on me too. Is that good? Also, there's only like 8 people in that class. That's all right. Lot to unpack there, Bills fan. I mean, if you think she's into you, just like keep trying to talk to her and get a better idea of it, and then maybe try to figure out a way to make a move there. I would continue to like interact with her, continue to like, just have the conversation with her every day. It's all good. 8 months locked in the gym, Flay, hard work is paying off slowly. Yeah, not really. I would say that I've gotten absolutely fucking chubby, dude. So, 8 people is crazy. 8 people in a class is nuts. I can't imagine like what's your graduating class gonna look like. I genuinely, let's just talk sports because I genuinely think Patrick Mahomes is an average quarterback at this point. I think what the Chiefs have done around Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. I think it's more so that the Chiefs as a whole are not as good. I think when Patrick Mahomes doesn't have the time given by his linemen, it changes a lot of things. He's definitely taken a step back. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. He's definitely not as good as he was a year ago, but I think a lot of it has to do with the Chiefs personnel. Let's see. My smallest class is journalism, and that has like 15 people. We've been talking for like 2 weeks. Good, that's good. Jocelyn, what's up? It's a private school and it's a study hall. Okay, that makes a little more sense then. Chargers are better than the Chiefs. I'm with you on that. I think the Los Angeles Chargers are a force to be reckoned with. I think the Chargers are one of those teams that I think they're going to have something to say come the postseason. Their defense is unbelievable. Hey, man, I didn't mean to be a tool yesterday when I commented your ex's TikTok username. I was trying to be... It's all good. It's fine, man. It's just one of those things. I know she watches the streams, and I know she still watches them. So, I just wouldn't want her to feel uncomfortable in any way like that. Like, that's just... I promoted her, and I'm okay with that. I still think, like, she's doing a lot of good things. I don't really want to get into it. I feel like, dude, I agree. Mahomes looks like worse than his entire career so far. 100%. Most people are in the library, but there was not room, so that's where I was in one of those classes. I see. Either the Chiefs or the Ravens will be 1-3 after this week, which is crazy to think about. Who would have thought? Packers losing to the Browns is funny. Goes into the idea that the NFL is rigged because everybody and their grandma had the Green Bay Packers. Did you see the dumb shit Trump said at Kirk's funeral? He said one of the things he disagreed with Charlie was that Charlie respected everyone, and went on to say how he hates everyone he disagrees. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I've had a lot of weird fucking. You want to get right into it? Let's get right into the fucking belly of the beast. Let's jump right into it. Let's go right into the hornet's nest. Let's talk about that because I'm with you on that, Goated. I thought it was really weird the way, like, just the way Donald Trump's been acting all week around, like, Charlie Kirk and shit. Like, the issue that got Jimmy Kimmel in trouble in the first place. Jimmy Kimmel had a point. I'll sit here and tell you that, like, for them to go and ask Trump to eulogize a guy who was supposedly his friend, and for him to come out and just be like, like, let's talk about the fucking construction going on at the White House. It was very weird to me. It was very, very odd, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth as a whole. And again, I'm not like a Trump supporter. I'm not a Charlie Kirk guy at all. Like, I think his death was a tragedy. Now, it was very odd because he then, like, he contradicted something that Erica fucking Kirk said on the stage. And again, I wasn't sitting there, like, watching it nonstop. I kind of got the gist of it from social media. Big ass hat, you better believe it. Kirk likes Trump only because they were in the same party. They didn't like each other as people. I don't think they agreed on a lot of things either. YouTube admitted they were censoring a Republican because Joe Biden told them to when the president was not. Is your apology now? Well, yeah, that's the thing. Moonlight Ace, you got a good point there. I don't know why Charlie Kirk's wife didn't notice, but they made Charlie funeral as shit. They took a shit on his funeral. I mean, I think the idea of, like, we can go into this, and again, I think it was a tragedy, fully, the Charlie Kirk death. But, Erica Kirk comes out to make a speech, and they, what they do is they fucking give her, like, a Goldberg entrance coming out on the stage. And it's like, what are we doing, dude? Yeah, Goated, exactly what I was saying. They literally gave her, like, the pyro like it was fucking Goldberg coming out. And I was like, what are we doing? It felt like a show, and nothing about it felt real. I was almost horrified, like, some of the things I saw. And look, I think she had a lot of things to say. I think she had a lot of, like, her eulogy was fine and everything. But just, like, the idea that it was this big fucking performance was so... Yeah, they made the funeral political instead of a legit funeral. I agree 100%. Derek, I hate to even go here because I hate using the word. I hate even putting this out there. And again, I think a lot of you guys think I'm a fucking MAGA guy because I've trashed a lot of things that are liberal, but I'm going to trash this whole turning point thing. This was nothing more than like it just felt like some propaganda BS. This entire funeral, an event that should have been like a sad event, a sad day, like, remembering a guy's life. It just felt like they turned it into another turning point event. I felt like it was really out of touch and out of, like, in bad fucking taste. The entire thing, And I hate to, again, the word I don't like to use because I don't like to just point the finger at this, but it's a word that I think you have to use in this situation. And I think you could say it about a lot of different groups of people nowadays. Very cult-like. I'm very confused about the whole idea of... It's not like somebody... My fucking AC unit is all fucked up. How am I? I'm alright, James. I'm chilling. It just felt like... I'm not a Republican. I just vote for... I'm the same way with you, Aaron. I like to look at the candidates with a clear mind, and I like to make my decision from there. MAGA is a cult. I mean, listen. You can go into a lot of different things that are a cult, Jocelyn. There's a lot of different groups of people that I look at, and I look at that as a cult. Turning Point USA, that whole thing, this doesn't feel right to me. This is why I'm in the middle. Both extreme sides are cults. I'm with you, Goated. It's not, you could point the finger at one side, you could point the finger at the other side, too. There's a lot of fucking cult-like things that are going on, and I think Turning Point USA is the ultimate fucking version of it. Especially, the scary thing to me is... And I've always had this issue when I had issues with Charlie Kirk and his beliefs and stuff. And I think Turning Point USA emphasizes it. What I don't like, I'm a big-time believer of, the separation of church and state. I'm personally not a very religious person. I don't look at and I respect anybody who is. But I think that too many of the ideals that this group and that he had they mixed religion and the state and what was best for everybody. And it made things so much more complicated than it needed to be. Nice, yeah, I only like Charlie Kirk. We both born in October. Texans are the best team. Yeah, I mean, we could throw the Houston Texans in there. In the middle of a discussion, we could throw some love for the Houston Texans. Respect. MAGA cult is trying to make Charlie Kirk like if he's the next G. I mean, listen, Derek, we can go into like, you could say the MAGA cult. There's a cult on the other side as well. There's cults. Both extreme sides are cult-like, and it's very scary. Tell me something good that Trump has done since taking office. Let me think about that. Honestly, the only thing I've noticed, Mike, and look, I'm not a politics guy. I'm truly not. I do think like, even like, as crazy as it sounds, things have been a little bit more affordable. But for the most part, the country's in shambles one way or another. Charlie was just a man. I mean, listen, I think anytime somebody dies, when, Charlie Kirk was sitting there, he was sitting up on a stage, he was talking about what he believed in one way or another, whether you agreed with him or not, which I didn't agree with him on everything. He was up there, he was using his freedom of speech, and he got shot for it. That's something that's extremely scary. And I actually think the bigger the hat, the greater the denial of what? Go Jets. All right, fair. Flay, what is your opinion on the Jimmy Kimmel thing? Sorry, I didn't watch a bit. All right, I'll go into that in a second. I think, the crime reduction's definitely been a good thing. But again, that's like a city-to-city thing. I don't even think, I don't even know how much of an impact Donald Trump could have had on that. Republicans are making Christianity a joke. In a way. I think stuff like Turning Point USA does make it a little bit of a joke. Where, you take these extreme political opinions, you mix them with religion, and it's just not a good mix. It's something that you cannot mix. There's a reason we've been so adamant for years of separating church and state. Imagine being the guy that asking the question. It's just an awful scene. A reporter said when Charlie got to heaven, God saw him and asked for his autograph. I mean, listen, there's delusion everywhere. There's delusion from everybody, in every single aspect. The problem that goes on nowadays is too many people have an opinion and too many people have a lot of power and a lot of ability to, spread whatever they want. How about dumbass Trump talking about Tylenol is connected to autism? Yeah, I mean, there's been, they've done a million studies on it, and there's been nothing to back that. From my understanding, Trump called in the National Guard to cities like D.C. and Memphis, which resulted in a decrease of crime. I mean, that's, it's scary that he had to do stuff like that. It creates kind of a war zone-like thing. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Not trying to stir up anything. I don't think it should have happened, perhaps, but I always thought Charlie had it coming for him. Okay, Aaron, I think I get what you're saying, and I don't think you're being insensitive when you say it, because I think a lot of people would take that way. I think what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're more so trying to say he was somebody that put himself in danger, and it kind of I feel like putting himself out there and being so willing to be in the open, he set himself up. It was always a dangerous situation. There's no truth or science to back up Tylenol connected to autism. Oh, I know. Listen, trust me. I've told you guys. My sister has autism. I have a sister with autism. I have pretty much read any bit of study when it comes to autism and the connections because I've always wanted to understand it. There's always been that scarcity. And, so I know somebody who's having a baby soon that, they don't want their wife to take Tylenol because they're worried about the connection. And that's something that they've been saying for years. That's something they've been saying forever. And there's never been any connection. Did you see that Trump said he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize? Who? Who deserves a Nobel Peace Prize? But, look, there's a million different things. We could get real complicated with it. We could get into a bunch of different things. Let's see. Is everybody in? Where is everybody? Hold on. For making chaos. Exactly what else? Yeah, I mean, Aaron, I think, I kind of get what you're saying. I don't know if you, not trying to be rude, but are we only going to talk about this? I mean, listen, Bills fan, I don't know. I kind of just go with whatever the conversation is. Again, I can't every night, I can't decide, okay, I need to, cookie cutter this for what Bills fan wants. Trump does Obama. What? I have no idea what that is. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So let me get back on track a little bit. Jocelyn probably thinks I'm MAGA, but I really think I diva down. Oh, I'm the same way. Goated. I'm with you 100%. I think a lot of the things I've said, because I think, for a little bit there was a little bit of time where I felt like there was a lot more fucking liberal bullshit going on. And now there's a lot of fucking, conservative bullshit going on. This whole funeral was such a fucking shit show and a joke. Flay doesn't like us anymore. No, I do. I love you guys. Genuinely. I just can't, say, all right, Bills fan wants this person wants this. I can't do 9 different streams. I'm just having a conversation. Imagine all this is a ploy by Big Motrin. It could be. Can Terrell Owens play right now if he really wanted to? He's talking about coming back. No shot. No way. There's no shot in hell. Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, true. That's true. Kamala said in her book she didn't choose Pete Buttigieg to be her VP candidate because he's gay and is. Oh my! You know what? That Kamala Harris interview, and I will tell you, she is one of those people that like. She's the whole reason I voted for Donald Trump because I don't think she's somebody capable of running our country. That interview on The View, that whole thing was some of the most like out of touch BS I've ever seen in my entire life. Like that woman was just making shit up. She was sitting up there talking about the race was close, this, that, and the other thing. Couldn't have Pete Buttigieg be my vice president because he's gay and we didn't have enough time. I wish Kamala was a stud, not going to lie. Listen, I think that the product of last election was that we had two candidates that absolutely sucked. It was horrible. We had two candidates that had no business being in office. Kamala a little bit less than Donald Trump. That's what it comes down to. Kamala Harris is stupid, but she was the better option. 100% no. I disagree with you 10,000 times. And look, I would never sway your guys' vote. Like, let's say there was a presidential election coming up. I would never tell you guys who I'm going to vote for because I would never want to do anything to sway you. I think, in my personal opinion, the most important thing is being able to come up with your own opinion on things and being able to look things for what it is and making your own decision. Chance to win $100. Can you name 5 quarterbacks who won 2+ Super Bowls before the 2000s? Okay, hold on. I'm not looking at anything. Philly Mike, I got my hands up. Hold on, let me answer this. Joe Montana, Bart Starr. Bart Starr, Joe Montana. Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw. One more. Steve Young. Yes. Who did I vote for this year? What do you mean? In the last election, I voted for Trump. But I'm not going to tell you. I will not tell you who I'm going to vote for. Like, if there was another presidential election, I would never say that because I would want you guys to make your own decision. Just understand that. Namath won. Yeah, Namath won. Only won. Trump administration is trying to make the USA as United States of North Korea. I don't really think that's the case, but I mean, listen, Derek. So can I ask you something, Derek? Like, because I know you're like, I know which side you're on, and I'm not trying to attack you here. Just a genuine question. What do you think about Joe Biden? Getting YouTube to silence Republican creators. That's something that kind of got swept under the rug today. Trump is the stupidest president we had in a while. I mean, he's definitely one of, he's not one of the better ones, but I don't think, I would prefer him over Kamala Harris 10 out of 10 times. Bart Starr, Jim Plunkett, Bob Greasy, Roger Staubach, Terry Bradshaw, John Elway, Troy Aikman, Phil Simms, Joe Montana, and Steve Young. Damn. It's a big list. There's more people than I thought. But anyway, how about we put here's the thing. Now, Godin, you make a great point, and this is something I've been saying for years. Biden was stupid when he was president. Biden was just out of touch with reality. He was delusional. Did you hear about the David situation? I did. That is such a horrifying situation. Horrible. But Godin, I've always been a firm believer that politicians should only be between the ages of 35 and 55. I think we have way too many fossils in office. We have too many people in Congress who are 100 years old who look like my fucking grandmother out there trying to make decisions for this country. And I think we need to start prioritizing fresh faces in Congress, new faces, new voices, and a better gap of people that can make decisions. It's just you have these guys, you have these people that are in Congress that are 95 fucking years old that go there and fall asleep during the meetings. I don't think that should be a thing. Just as there is an age minimum. I agree 100%, Godin. I'm with you 1000% on that. I'm rolling with Zoran Madami. I'm not again, I don't want to sway anybody's vote. I don't have any vote in that election anyway. I'm not in New York City, so I can't vote on it. That's a tough election because, there's really not a good candidate. That's the same situation where, both candidates are tough. How about Flay for president? Hey, listen, you want to vote for me? You want to write me in at some point? I'm not old enough, but who knows? Maybe someday I'll get there. The fact that you like Donald Trump says a lot about you. No, it doesn't. No, Mike, it shows that I was able to make a decision on my own. I didn't vote for Donald Trump against Joe Biden. I voted for Joe Biden against Donald Trump. 100%. Voting for Trump in New York is basically voting a third party. Yeah, for the most part, goated. I'll tell you what though, if you look at the map of New York, Long Island is extremely red. Long Island has completely turned red. Senior officials try to stop conservatives because of the false stuff they would say about COVID-19, but I wouldn't say silent. No, Derek, I think that's you trying to spin zone it. They were silencing them. It was not, they could try to make it whatever they want. They could try to make it however they want to spin it, but that's just not the case. Besides, the COVID-19, pretty much the pandemic, by the time Joe Biden got into office, it was pretty much, I'm not saying it was over, but to just silence people and to be like, hey, because they have Republican opinions, that's a problem too. And it seems to be something that we're just throwing under the rug. Like the media has poisoned. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, goated, I think you're 100% right. I think there's a ton of people who are just poisoned to dislike the other side and think of them as like the devil. I'm in the middle of everything. I don't like either party, and I like to look at things for what they are. I like to look at the candidates, get a good idea of which candidate is which, what they have in mind, how they speak, how they do this, how they do that. What'd you say, Mixed? We need a trans MAGA TikTok influencer to unite a beloved country. Fucking Caitlyn Jenner would be perfect for that. But no, listen, again, I have no issues with anybody's political opinion, and like if it seems like I'm trying to attack you for your thing, I don't at all. Freedom of speech is fine until they disagree. Exactly. Flay just voting on experience. Stop me if I'm wrong. Biden had more on Trump. Trump had more on Kamala. That's what I would say there, Aaron. That's exactly what I would say. The issue I had with Kamala Harris was, she was put in the position, she didn't even win the Democratic primary, let alone, she kind of, it basically was the Democrats bait and switching their entire fucking party. And like, if you're a Democrat, I would be extremely upset because all they had to do was put a competent candidate in the position against Donald Trump and people would have voted for them. But the problem is they didn't. Kamala Harris was like I hate to say it. I don't have any bit of like political respect for her. I think she was a dud of a candidate. She was like, she talked backwards. Even if you saw what she said today on The View, she is so fucking like out of her mind and like she lives in her own reality. Is that really what we wanted running our country? No. All right, the political session is blowing my high. Let's talk about CJ Stroud being a bum. CJ Stroud sucks now. Why does Donald Trump keep saying that Obama deserves to be in jail? That's just fucking political bullshit that's been going back a long time. Donald Trump's got to chill on a lot of things. I will sit here and tell you, I will be the first to be the one to criticize him by the fact that, like, his social media, the shit he does on social media is absolutely fucking insane. He's got to be a little more professional. He's the fucking president of the United States. And, attacking people personally, attacking an entire political party when you're running the country, it doesn't work, and it's not a good leadership technique. Not at all. Kamala is only there because of her race. That's it. I mean, because goated, and I don't want to categorize her. I don't want to she was there because I felt like Democrats felt like it was an easy history maker. I felt like they thought beating Donald Trump was going to be easy, and they put Kamala Harris there thinking like, now we have our women candidate, our first female candidate, and it didn't work because she wasn't the right choice. I fully believe at some point, someday, there's going to be a woman that's going to be president, and I think it's going to be a great thing, and it's going to be a great day in this country. Kamala Harris was not the right choice. She lives in her own reality. She's somebody who, as the district attorney in California, she was putting away people for possession of marijuana. She was taking away people's freedoms for stuff and was super harsh on crime, especially when it came to marijuana, and then had the balls to come out and say, yeah, I smoked weed back in the day. You know how fucking crazy that is? I'm sorry. I think that's such a terrible thing. We should talk about how the Bucks are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm at the moment, right? Hey, listen. The Bucks are a good football team. Tim Walz would have been better than Kamala. Great views on education, medicate hunger. I mean, Tim Walz also had the National Guard going around making sure people were inside during COVID. A woman president, I'll move to Canada. I don't agree with that. Screw you, Flay. Y'all finessed you out of Brownlee Jr. I'm so happy about that trade, but the Jets aren't going anywhere. Not happening. Tell me the truth. Do you think Donald Trump is doing his job right as president? No. Mike, I'll tell you straight up. I think Donald Trump is since he's become president, it's become a fucking victory lap for him. I'm with you on that. I don't have anything good to say about what Trump has done as president. I think there's some things that have been okay. some things and very minimal. I won't say, like, I don't think he's done a great job. But I don't think do I regret my decision? No. Yeah, that's a little bit crazy, Nate. I think a woman could absolutely run the country. There's people that say that they're like, oh, women can't. A woman can absolutely run the United States of America, 100%. I would totally agree with that. I don't think Kamala was the right woman. My twin brother and I did a social experiment where we both applied to an In-N-Out, saying the same thing, filling out, except I did my race as white as my bro black. Guess who got hired? I have a good guess, but listen. How about them Jets, dude? What a game. Almost stole that one. I traded Wilson in fantasy. Shake my head. Yeah, the Jets almost stole that one, but it's classic Jets that we can never have good things, man. It's just the normal shit. She literally was only chosen as Biden's VP because she was a black woman during the 2020 Democrat. I mean, it definitely, gave Joe Biden an edge, with the idea of making history. But here's the thing. I thought Joe Biden was by far the better candidate in 2020. That's why I voted for him. Did I make a mistake? I feel like I did. She was never going to win. There's too many racists out there. It has nothing to do with racists, Mike. Not at all. It's not a race thing at all, and that's a big cop-out. Tell me that isn't just racism. It is. It absolutely is. The In-N-Out thing, 100%. Nathan is a misogynistic motherfucker that would comment. Yeah, that's crazy. Mike, it's not about racists, man. Then why did Barack Obama win the presidency? Explain that one to me. Why was Barack Obama president twice if there are so many racists out there? I bet on Trump to win the election. What did Dominic say? Hi, please. What's up, man? Dude, I took Republican to win the 2022 election? What fucking year was it? 2024? I forget already. No, I took that when I was in Virginia. When I was visiting my mom, you could bet on that. It was 2 years into Joe Biden's presidency. Made a quick $250 off of that. That's fun. I'm talking about the recent one. We love women here on Flay's channel. Love them. Hell, I'd vote for Jocelyn for president tomorrow if I had to. If I had the opportunity to. I made it sound like I'm being fucking forced to vote for her. That wasn't what I was trying to get across here. The world is a better place when LeBron was the number one basketball player in the world, and I don't want to hear otherwise. I never thought about it like that, but you're right. Hold on a minute. Just looking at something. Just checking something. Guys, give me a second. Hell yeah. Damn, 10 people watching the fucking horizontal stream tonight. I love that. Love it. We love people. I love everybody here. I love fucking every single one of you here. It doesn't matter. I don't care what your opinions are. I don't care. And I'm okay with having these debates because I think it's a good thing to have. I think it's a good thing to have these conversations. I only have one subscriber. Dominic, what kind of content you make there, man? Let's hear about what you got going on over there. And it's my friend Dominic. What are you doing on YouTube? What kind of content you got going on? The world was a better. Okay, I read that already. Yeah, of course I'd vote for you, Jocelyn. Fucking Church League MVP, 15 fucking rebounds a day. A game, excuse me. Why did I say day? That sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, it's just embarrassing to have a president that acts like a child that doesn't get his way. No, Mike, I'm with you on that. I think Donald Trump has a lot of issues when it comes to professionalism in the position. I have never once defended him for what he's done. In fact, I've been very critical on the fact that he's posting all these memes. He's basically running a shitpost account on his fucking Twitter. It's absolutely ridiculous when you're running the fucking country. You are held to a higher standard when you're the president of the United States. I'm all for presidents having fun. I'm all for presidents doing shit like filling out a bracket, doing shit like that, going on talk shows, having a good time. You need to have a level of professionalism even with people you disagree with. You can't be tearing people down when you're the fucking leader of the country. It doesn't work like that. How stupid was it for Trump to say leaders from European countries that they are going out? I think, shit like that, Derek, I think Donald Trump has no filter. And it's just he says things supremely extreme in moments like that. And I don't know, it feels like an intimidation tactic, but I think he's just too stupid to realize that he's saying shit like crazy like that. You see Metallica is probably performing at the Super Bowl? That would be lit. Dude, I saw Metallica in Chicago. Awesome show at Lollapalooza. I would be so happy for that. I love Metallica. Trump was looking a little bit more orange at the propaganda memorial. I mean, again, I'm not trying to... that whole funeral, the whole thing was... It kind of just felt like a Turning Point rally, and it It left a bad taste in my mouth. We just had a funeral for a big racist person, making them how to be a guy. I mean, Mike, that's your opinion on him. Again, you're somebody who's very, very far left, and I'm trying to figure out on the camera which way is left. Left. Because I have it backwards. The stream is whatever. Not that you guys care. And I think, like, obviously you disagree with Charlie Kirk, and the way to get him, the way to try to, what's the word, discredit a guy like that is calling him racist, calling him all this stuff. I think he's a guy who was very easily taken out of context. Again, I'm a middle guy. I'm down the middle. Talking shit on your current president. This generation is so unpatriotic. Nathan, I hope Donald Trump does a great job. I'm not somebody rooting against him. There's people that are on the other side of the fence that are strictly rooting against him to do everything wrong. I never want that. I hope Donald Trump does a great job in office. I just look at it for what it is, that there's certain things he's doing that are so unprofessional that you can't look at and not say, hey man, like maybe you shouldn't be doing that. I am rooting for the guy. I would absolutely go meet him if I ever had the chance to. It would be a fucking honor to meet a sitting president. It would be an awesome thing. I like Kirk. I don't like Trump. There's a difference between the two. See, like Goated, I'm almost the opposite. I didn't even like Charlie Kirk that much. Honestly. In fact, the man almost got assassinated. It's crazy. Talking about women like an item, Nathan is unpatriotic. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to be like, I wouldn't vote for a woman and then like to talk about the president. I don't know. Again, I'm all for having these talks. If you guys want to talk about anything, it just came up. We got there, and I run with it. I apologize that we get there. Everything in Project 2025 is going all as planned. Here's the thing. I like I said about the whole fucking funeral, it left a really weird taste in my mouth. It felt like a big, giant propaganda mission, more so than an actual funeral honoring somebody that got shot in a public setting. It's like, again, I think you could disagree with Charlie Kirk all you want. You can sit there and you're going to try to discredit him by calling him all this. I agreed with 60% of the things Charlie said about LGBT, being a man, college and stuff. I disagree with his abortion opinions and religious opinions. For the most part, Goated, I'm on your side there. Flay, do you have the CVS shine? It's right here, of course. What are you talking about? There's a reason we have never had a woman president. I mean, it's because we haven't had a good enough women candidate yet. It was kind of one of those things for the longest time. Women didn't have the right to vote for a while. There was no way a woman was going to be the president in like the 50s, the 60s. It took time for us to, with a lot of things. It took time for this nation to kind of like, allow women to be like on equal ground as men. So it'll take time. It's still a thing. Like, it's still a process. At some point, we're going to have a woman president. Tell me the truth. Why do you like Charlie Kirk? Because he was a man who stood up for what he believed in and was willing to listen to other people about what they believed in and was willing to allow people to disagree without freaking out like a lot of people do. Like you do, Mike, when you disagree with me. When you freak out and start like calling me like, he was willing to have conversations with people and was willing to go out there, discuss things, have an open mind about things, and explain his views in a situation that most people wouldn't be able to handle. He was also an entertaining figure. Like, anytime his videos popped up, I was like, I'm watching this. Now, a lot of the things he said I didn't agree with. There are a lot of things, especially how he connected his religion to a lot of his political beliefs. That is something that, I look at. I don't think mixing religion with politics is a safe thing, ever. I think you need to have two separate minds there, and that's something I always criticized him on. I also think a lot of people that like Mike, like Derek, and again, I'm not trying to single you guys out. I apologize. I shouldn't even do that. I apologize right now. Like, right away, I'll apologize that I even called you guys out like that. But like some of you guys that like will listen to like the little, listen to these little clips and stuff and make a giant opinion about the guy. Like, again, some of the things he said are very, very, very in poor color when he's trying to make a point about things. When you listen to entire debates, like some of the shit he said, like especially the thing he said about like, the civil rights movement, that whole thing, if you actually listen to every single thing he said in that debate, he should not have worded what he said like that. And I had an issue with it too. Except when you actually listen to the whole thing and realize he was talking about something in a way, basically what he was saying was, when you put in writing, when the government decides to put in writing that, hey, like these people have to be equal, basically what you're saying is you're admitting that they're not equal. And I think his whole idea was people should always be equal. It shouldn't have to be written in fucking writing. Boy, the right-wing gift pays well. What do you mean? What are we talking about? If you think Charlie did it for the money, you got to be joking. To be honest, these political heads don't even believe the things they preach. I think most of them, including Charlie, just did it for the money. I mean, at that point, you know what? Like, he kept doing all these things for the money, I'm sure. Like, it was a great fucking payday going to all these colleges and doing this stuff. But, like, you don't... If he really was just doing it for the money, he'd sit where I'm sitting right now, do it on a stream, and talk like this, and not have people going up to a mic and debating him. He wouldn't waste his time traveling all over the place. He would sit right in front of his fucking camera. I think he was somebody who absolutely believed in his stuff. I think he was a little too extreme. 100%. I'm with you on that. I think there were so many things that he said where I was like, all right, not that. Imagine think you have to support your president to be patriotic, dumbass shit. Yeah, that you don't have to support the president. Listen, hold on. You don't have you're allowed to criticize the president. I think you should always support the president. You should always want the president to do the right thing, like rooting for the president more so. Like you should always be like. I think people who like who try to dissect everything Trump does, who are rooting for Trump to fail and shit, are not patriotic. I think that's the problem. That's the issue I have with people. But if you think like he's doing a bad job and you want to call him out for it, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what this country's all about. I make CapCut stuff for like fishing music. I like that. I'll check that out after, Dominic. Bears, anyone, Caleb, 4 TDs. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Caleb Williams is going to be fine. I think especially in Ben Johnson's offense. I hate how supporting America and loving your country is apparently now a right-wing thing. Yeah, for the most part. It seems like it's becoming that. And you know what's the problem, too, is like anytime like I'll say something along those lines, like I'll say something about supporting the country, I feel like I get a lot of people going, oh, you must be MAGA. Like, sometimes in these live streams, people have said that. In my TikTok stuff, I've done things where, like, people are like, oh, you must be. I'm absolutely not. That's, like, the biggest insult you can give me is calling me either side. I'm somebody who just likes to look at things for what they are and make my own opinion. And I think we've lost a lot of free thinkers in this country. I think there's a big issue with people not being able to free think for themselves. There's a lot of people that just kind of like listen to whatever like somebody else says and go, yeah, and run with it. And like they want to spin zone things to make it seem like they're the better people. When really both sides are pulling on both sides of the rope, pulling so hard in both directions that it's causing a rift in this country. No offense, but your TikTok audience is kind of bad. Oh, it's awful, Aaron. Awful. Awful. That's why I don't like streaming there anymore. TikTok is a horrible place to stream. Like, if I'm going to keep streaming there, I just got to, like, turn chat off. Because those people, everybody on there is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just a bunch of fucking babies. Like, you guys, I feel like I can have a conversation with and have a real, like, real discussion about this stuff. It's good. There were times where an LGBTQ person went up on the mic and the crowd booed. He told them to be respectful. Again, 100%. That's the truth. Like, he was somebody who respected everybody even if he didn't agree with them. What'd you say, Dominic? I didn't see what you said. Although bro doesn't come around anymore because he hates Derek. No one likes him. Wait, who? Flay, you think I'm ridiculous? I'm on TikTok. No, Aaron, I've seen you in there. You're good on there. There's people that are just fucking crazy, dude. There's people that like, TikTok is an absolute brain rot fucking station. So you get a lot of people who are just brain rot babies. He had 14 million reasons why he was racist. Why? Let's hear them all, Mike. List them. How about Charlie Kirk saying the Civil Rights Act was a mistake and shouldn't have been passed? Okay, Derek, again, something that I'm certain that you didn't listen to the whole thing because it was mostly rage baiting before he died. He was getting dunked on every debate. I mean, yeah, obviously he's only going to post the things that are good. But like, Derek, did you ever listen to that whole discussion? Because again, I think the way he described things sometimes, I think he would say shit like that, like it was a mistake. And it comes off really bad when you clip it and put it out there, that little section of the clip. Now, the entire thing that he was trying to say, which it's one of those things. It's a hard thing. Like, I think, like I said, when you clip it and you see the little clip, it sounds awful. But what he was saying, and from what I gathered out of it from the whole conversation, was that once you put something like that in writing, you're basically admitting that people aren't equal. By putting out an act like that and going, like putting out the Civil Rights Act, and again, I don't think it was a mistake. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that I think the Civil Rights Movement was a mistake. I think it was something that needed to be put out there because people were bigots back in the day. We had a fucking terrible issue in this country with racism, and it was something that needed to be done. Now, when you listen to everything he said, all he was trying to say was, once you put it in writing, you're openly admitting that these people aren't equal, that the people that you made the law for aren't equal. Blaze famous, congrats on 1.5K. Did I make it? Let's go. You just said, I think for yourself, not listen to what somebody else said. No, Mike, this is different when taking something out of context. You're listening to a little clip of something and running with it. I'm not sitting here saying I agree with what he said. I'm saying at least if you're going to use that quote, at least know the fucking context of it and know what you're talking about when you use it. But whatever, you're another one. Mike, you're even trying to spin on what I'm trying to say right now. And that's the problem with a lot of people. You're trying to take what I'm saying because, again, it's one of those things when somebody proves you wrong, when somebody says something, when somebody has you, thinking a different way, you have to try to, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? You have to try to belittle them. What am I looking for? Mike is right. No, he's not right. Mike is not right. Can we talk about how the internet produces an entire generation of brain rot babies? Yeah, incredible. Mike's not right. I literally am listening. I listened to the whole thing because when people said it, I'm like, let me at least hear what he said, because I've never thought he was somebody who was openly racist like that. So I'm like, at least let me hear the whole conversation. When I listened to the whole conversation, that's the idea I got out of it, was that he's somebody who fundamentally believes that everybody should be equal no matter what. Like, once you get put on this earth, you're equal. Everybody's equal, right? That's what both sides do, though. They rage bait and try to do the gotchas. I mean, that's what you guys are trying to do to me right now. You and Jocelyn, you and Mike right now are trying to gotcha me by saying, oh, you just said don't listen to what other people say. Like, why? Like, I can't listen to what a guy said and get an opinion out of him and make my own opinion of the guy? You're listening to the little fucking quote that he made, this little thing that got clipped, so it made him look like a terrible guy, which, again, I think he needed to be a little bit more politically correct on certain things. But the whole bigger picture of what he was trying to say was, once you put that in writing, once you write it down and say, hey, you have to treat these people equally, you're automatically saying they are not equal in your mind. It's almost like a catch-22. It's just the way it is. It's an absolute catch-22. When you put it in writing and say, hey, you have to treat these people equally, you're admitting that they're not equal. And, like, again, it's a complicated belief. I don't expect everyone to understand it, but I got that when I was listening to the whole conversation. That's what I took from it. I think he was somebody that probably should have explained that a little bit better than just saying something like the Civil Rights Act is a mistake is a great way for people to take you out of context and try to make you look bad. And it's just not something you should ever say out loud, because obviously I don't even agree I don't think it was a mistake at all. But I understand what he was saying. You're a smart person. Why are you listening to somebody else's opinion? Have your own opinion. Mike, what are you like? Do you hear a word I'm saying? Are you listening to anything I'm saying? I'm listening to a guy's opinion. I don't agree with what he said at all. I don't agree whatsoever. But you're trying to have a gotcha moment on him by listening to one little quote that he said and trying to make it seem like it makes him a terrible person. You're like completely trying to spin zone what I'm saying here. Kirk argued that the act led to what he described as permanent DEI, which is dumb. It's not dumb. It's actually a very complex and like critical thinking concept, if you want to think about it. It actually does make sense. Everything that I just stated is exactly what you just said. From what I got out of his conversation, from what I got out of what he was saying. And again, I'm not a Charlie Kirk supporter by any means. I think there was a lot of things I didn't like about him. But, if you want to take his quotes and you want to fucking spin zone it however you want to try to demonize him, at least listen to the whole thing and have an idea of what you're talking about. Because again, I'm an open book. I'm an open mind. I watch things. If I thought he said something that was racist like that, if I thought it was like blatantly racist, that he was just saying like we should have never let anybody be equal, I would sit here and tell you it would be the first thing I said. I'm not afraid of my own opinion. But when I listen to the whole conversation, I'm like, okay, maybe next time don't come out and say the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, because that's just a stupid way of fucking putting it. There's a reason why mixed people always identify with black because it gives go to like that's a complicated thing. I think like that's something I can't even get in on because I don't totally, I don't know what goes through people's minds when they do that. I don't know what like, when you're mixed, like why you would say one or the other. I wouldn't want to even say from a perspective because I don't have that. I say this as a mixed person. Okay, so you have the perspective. I don't. Personally, I don't, so I'm not even going to comment on that. But, Flay fam, what's up? Yo, what's up, man? I just don't like when people shove their religious beliefs on others. I'm with you. I'm mixed. The world views us as predominantly black. That's a wild take. What is? I mean, again, I don't understand it. I wouldn't even try to like, I'm not even going to sit here and try to say I take that hat off and put the Eagles one on. Never. I'm mixed. The world views. Look, again, that's your, like, you know that better than me. I don't like when people shove their religious beliefs on others. I agree. And mixed martial artists, that was always the biggest issue I had with a guy like that. That's the biggest issue I had with the whole turning point movement. The entire, like, turning points about, like, go to your local church and make a difference. Like, why? Like, we need to separate fucking church and state as much as possible, dude. I have a mixed... So I'm qualified to comment. Okay. I didn't know that's why. What's up, Flay fam? If you fill out the exact same application except one says they're white and the other says... I mean... That's a thing I'm not even going to get in on. I seen a joke, though. I ain't racist. I have a colored TV. It's pretty good. Actually, that's fucking crazy. My last comment was a joke. I was going to say, I don't know, like, we were having a really serious discussion there, and then, like, you guys are throwing fucking jokes at me. I don't know when to laugh. Can we see your photo with Sammy D in the Fields card? I have the Fields card right here. My photo with Sammy D is in the other room. I just don't feel like getting it right now. Blake, what would you do if I mailed you 100 apples? Poof. It's a good question. 100 apples. I'd probably have to try one of them. I love apples. So you're okay with him saying MLK was a bad person? No. Again, I didn't agree with everything. See, Derek, here's what you're doing. This is exactly what I'm talking about when you try to make somebody look bad in a situation. I never agreed with every single thing the guy said. I'm just saying, if you're gonna quote him and you're gonna like use something he said, at least understand the whole context of it. But now here you go, you're gonna try to witch hunt on me and go, so you agree with this that he says, you agree with this that he said, just because you're trying to do this greater thing of, fuck, I can't think of the goddamn word tonight. You're just trying to downplay him. Them big apples are good. There's no better. Flay, do you have a P.O. box? I do. I actually just got it today. I don't remember what the fucking address is, but you guys can send me whatever you want. I would love that. The best apples are Red Delicious, by the way. Red Delicious and fucking Granny Smith. I could eat a fucking million of both. MLK was an actual sexist, but that goes under the rug. MLK was a religious fanatic who cheated on his wife repeatedly and publicly. Look, I'm somebody who thinks people make mistakes. I think Martin Luther King did a lot of great for this country. Like behind the scenes, sure, maybe he did some things that were questionable, but he was somebody who was willing to stand up for, the rights of people that were being suppressed. I have no issues with Martin Luther King. MLK wasn't the best of people, but the movement he stood for. 100%, Jocelyn, I'm with you on that. No, I think that's exactly what it is. I think too many people, and I'm pointing the finger both ways, sometimes try to look behind the scenes at what people, like, the mistakes people make, and try to discredit an entire movement because of that. Like Daniel Jones is third in the league in passer rating. Talk about a fucking... Good for Daniel Jones. I'm so happy for him. Sometimes people, you just got to get out of New York. You got to get out of the New York market. MLK was basically black Charlie Kirk politically. I don't know if Charlie Kirk had the same impact. I wouldn't say that. Mick's not even close. It's just never compare a good guy to Charlie Kirk. Again, Martin Luther King, known bad guy behind the scenes, but his movement was fantastic. He's a hero in this nation and deserves to have a day off for himself. Absolutely. He was somebody who's so important to the civil rights movement. I have nothing bad to say about him. Sure, he made mistakes behind the scenes. I don't mean to say he was a bad guy. I more so meant made some mistakes. Happens. We've all done it. Colts are flukes? I don't know. Can I tell another edgy joke? Do it. Go for it. We're an open book here. We could tell whatever. Oh, man. I'd argue MLK was a worse person than Kirk despite him being way more impactful and better for the country. I've cheated before. Shit happens. I've never cheated on anybody. So I can't go into that. But what did MLK do? He's pretty much just like a womanizer. I don't know. He was somebody, he was unfaithful. That was delusional to think MLK was worse than Kirk. I mean, Flay got cheated on. I got cheated on a while ago. That was in high school. My high school relationship, I got cheated on. MLK was a better guy than me. I'm not saying I'm a great guy. Charlie Kirk death was 9/11 for white people. That's just not the case. What's up, Aaron? Oh, never mind. You were just saying from before. No, that was in high school. My high school relationship, I got cheated on. That was a very long time ago. Oh, no, never mind. Thought I gained a sub. Everyone sleeps around and just saying none of my girlfriends have been loyal. Honestly, that's not true, Goated. Go Colts, baby. We're number one. Must be nice. Great feeling. Good for you guys. Happy for you. My whole family in Indiana is Colts fans. Oh, in high school. I thought you were saying just saying. I was like, what? Yeah, in high school it's tough, man. It's tough. I had a girlfriend in high school that I thought really liked me. Cheated on me a bunch of times. Social media just kills relationships nowadays. Oh, 100%. Social media is like the devil when it comes to relationships. There's too much temptation out there. I see what you mean. But as you get older, you settle in and you realize it's not worth it. You have a horrible choice in women, no offense. Me? The hell do you mean by that? You mean my high school girlfriend? Yeah, you're right. She was a terrible fucking choice. No, not you. I was going to say, wait a minute. I was like, whoa. Whoa. I've been single since 2021 and it's been amazing. Nice. I'm from Anderson, Indiana. My family's from Terre Haute, man, X. I don't know where Anderson is compared to that. MLK died for something, Charlie. I don't know what he died for. I mean, he died for, he was kind of silenced if you want to go there. If you really want to go there. I have a question. What's up? I've cheated, been cheated on, and I just say single kings. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Aaron, it's fucking high school. You're too young. Yeah. Relationships in high school are never a good idea. Really, though. I couldn't even get the word out. Relationships in high school are almost never a good idea. They always end in fucking disaster. Because the fucking way she goes. I appreciate everybody being in the horizontal stream, by the way. Donald Trump and Charlie are part of a cult. Yeah, so is the other side, Mike. They're both cults. Throwing the word cult at the fucking... It's like pissing in the wind. I go into relationships knowing they won't last long. It's not a good way to look at it. You don't date to marry in high school. No, absolutely not. And you'll make that mistake. I made that mistake. Trust me, in high school. I made that mistake that I thought I was going to marry the girl I was dating. I should have fucking known better. Looking back on it, I was fucking naive and stupid. What's a cult on the left, though? There's plenty. There's pretty much... There is, the extreme left, the people that, say shit like Charlie Kirk should have died, Charlie Kirk deserved to die, you don't really group them up. I mean, I know people want to say, Antifa. I don't even think, that's, I almost think that is putting people that, aren't part of that group, dating in general sucks. Yeah, it's horrible. I don't even think you could put, that name on things, I don't even think that's something that you can use. Like compared to MAGA, who on the left, I mean, a lot of people, Jocelyn. You have a lot of people. Have you ever seen the videos of like crazy fucking liberals, like the people who celebrated Kirk's death? 100%. People who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death are absolutely cult-like people. You know, people who are like, somebody got silenced, somebody we disagreed with got silenced. That's cult-like. People that like, name a group. I don't know. There's not a fucking name for it, Jocelyn. It's not like, not everything has a name to it. Not everything like has a fucking label. You know, you see it all the time. It's just there is a extreme side of the left. And I actually named a group too. I said Antifa, but I don't even consider that because I don't even want to give them the fucking time of day. You put the entire... There's people on the left that are just extreme. What do you mean your point? You're not making a point. There's no label on it. You call it MAGA because it's like, you know, everybody says make America great again. There's a name for it. You don't have to put a label on a cult. That's just not a thing for it to be cult-like. That's ridiculous. That's an absolutely ridiculous point. You know, just because nobody came up with a name for it yet, and I even mentioned Antifa. Antifa equals anti-fascist. I mean, they're the extreme people. There's extreme side of people. And again, it might not be everybody, and I get it, it's anti-fascist. You want to say that out loud because it sounds like it's better than what you're talking about. Again, it's all about fucking PR. I get that. You're going to make it seem like, oh, it's just that they're anti-fascist. No, those people are people that think like a guy like Charlie Kirk deserved to die because they disagree with them. You know, it's shit like that. That is absolutely cult-like behavior. You know, it's people that like, you know, are going out and forcing their will on people. It's people that like, when we're trying to have a conversation, you know, they won't even let you speak. In other words, our World War II veterans are considered Antifa. I mean, yeah, there's an extreme side of it. There's an extreme side of everything, Jocelyn. There's an absolute extreme side to everything. I wasn't calling it Antifa because I don't even want to give... I don't even think that's the best way to describe it. I don't even think those people in general are the cults. It's the people who are extreme about their political beliefs to the point where they can't even listen to a conversation and haven't, like, their own opinion on anything. Like, you know, you can't explain yourself to these people. Flay's drug dealer. Flay, what do you want this? The truth, I never heard of Charlie Kirk till he got shot. I highly doubt that, Mike. Then why do you have such extreme opinions on him dying? Like, then why do you care? Like, why are you so, like, thrilled that he died? I don't believe that for 1 second. He was, like, a super prominent fucking person. Wait, did you still need that eighth? How many people are trying to sell to me right now? Your usual? I don't even know what my usual is. What is my usual? God damn. That's great. Flay's drug dealer. I was not expecting that. You know, you guys keep me fucking guessing all the time, and I really do appreciate that. It makes things interesting. Let's see. Let me just check the studio real quick. You want to check my YouTube studio, see what's going on here? By the end of this stream, I should probably be fucking... I've been saying that so long that, like, hey, I should be monetized by now. This time, I should be monetized. 1000%. Ooh, 7 hours of watch hours. That might be enough. Thanks, guys. Mike heard he got shot. Looked to the far left media. Yeah, he's like, what do we do, guys? What do we think? Because I asked someone and they said I was. Wait, am I wrong for yelling and cursing at a guy for lying to me and kissing me after he told me he left his other girlfriend and is wrong that I saved all the texts and sending them to her? No, I think, sorry, I didn't mean to miss that part. I would say you're doing the right thing. I think, you know, you're allowing like, there's somebody out there that is getting fucking played right now, and because of you, they're not going to get played anymore. I think that's very, you know, I think that's honorable, because you could keep up the charade and just, like, you know, have this person on the side and be like, but you don't want to be a side piece either. I respect that. I think that's a great thing to do. I would do the same thing if I ever, like, you know, was hooking up with a girl and found out she had a boyfriend or something. I would absolutely say something right away, because, you know, I've been in that spot, you know, with my girlfriend in high school. I would just, like, it's the right thing to do. It's like, because then you're never going to, like, marry this girl. You're never going to marry this guy, because if they're doing it to the person they're with now, they would do it to you too. It's Let me explain something. Like, if you're ever somebody that, like, you're the cheating party, like, you're hooking up with somebody who's cheating on their significant other, understand that if you end up ever becoming in that situation that the significant other's in, they're going to cheat on you too. It's not because you're so amazing, and again, I'm sorry if I'm killing anybody's hopes and dreams. It's because they just have issues. Bro, this shit too funny. 40 ounces of weed, 30 ounces of baby oil crystal, and already poked condoms. Yo, what the fuck, dude? Holy. What do you know if I asked him? Wait, McDavid signed my jersey. You asked him? Oh, good shit. Congratulations. But did you lose your sponsor? I didn't lose my sponsor. Apparently I was only supposed to use that on Twitch, though. I still have it if you guys want to use it. But apparently that was only supposed to be a Twitch thing. So when I streamed on here for a while and had the factor thing up, I didn't get any of the added hours that I was supposed to do streaming. So they actually pulled that. I guess I technically lost the sponsorship. But I wasn't supposed to do it here. It was only supposed to be on fucking Twitch. Go put on your MAGA hat. There he is. There's the Mike I know and love. The second I disagree with him, it's like, go put on your fucking MAGA hat. Yeah. All right. That's the thing. Somebody can't disagree with you. I get it. I understand, Mike. I get it now. Like, I've understood that for a while with you. That you can't have somebody disagree with you and without saying, like, without trying to fucking put them in the other category that you think is so much worse than what you're, than what you believe in. Yeah, they're both bad. I think both equal, like, sides of, like, being extreme, I think, are awful. You know that. All the Elite 11 quarterbacks, something Stroud and Bryce. I mean, what? Was that English? Trump is a demon, Charlie was a demon, but oh well. I mean, that's whatever you want to think. That's your opinion. I think you could twist anybody's words and make it sound bad. How did Aaron Rodgers become a 4-time MVP playing off ayahuasca and perks? Because he was on ayahuasca and perks, that's why. That's how. Look at fucking Kurt Angle's best run. Kurt Angle's best run of all time was when he was perked out. Perk Angle. He even told me and all my friends he only wanted me, one of them being his girl's ex, and he had to stand up for me because she was talking bad about me because the guy wanted to lie and say I kissed him. I mean, this just sounds like somebody I wouldn't want to get involved with if I were you. I don't want to tell you how to live your life, though. Aaron Rodgers is with a crystal mom. Is he? Yeah, what's the deal with that girl? I have no idea. I've kind of seen it, and I don't really pay attention because I don't care. I hate myself for being gay. Do you have any advice? I would say MMA. I would say be yourself. You know, you hate yourself for being gay. Why? Because you think people aren't going to accept you? If there's people in your life that won't accept you for being gay, that's their problem. That's not yours. You know, that's a them issue. Like, be yourself. Be gay and be happy about it, man. Be proud of who you are and go out there and live your best life no matter who you like to have sex with. It doesn't matter. You need to be yourself. You are your own person. If somebody doesn't like you because you're gay, that's their issue, not yours. Why the fuck would you hate yourself for being gay? Embrace it. Absolutely. Always embrace your sexuality, man. Like, again, if anybody thinks that it's a problem, they're the problem, not you. Trust me. Also, be gay if that's who you are. I personally think it's dumb when people make it their whole personality. I don't know. I think, like... what do you mean by that, Cody? Because, like, I'm trying to get an idea of what you mean. Nicest celeb I met was this guy named Epstein. He took me to an island. I woke up 3 days later. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Jocelyn, what's your thoughts on load management? Crystal mommies are so unhinged. I'm sure. It sounds like a fucking terrible thing. His reasoning of doing it is because he hates himself and wanted to die. Huh. Well, that took a turn. Well, that's awful. I wouldn't want to see anybody die. I think Jocelyn means karate. I don't think she does. Kawhi Leonard needs to go at court. Why does he need to go to court? There are guys who make being gay their entire personality, all conversation. Okay, I see what you mean. Like, people, you're talking about people who are just dying to let you know that they're gay. Like, I guess there's a thing there, like, I kind of understand what you're saying, like, where it's like people, like, you have a conversation with somebody and like they have to let you know, like I don't care one way or another, be who you want. Kawhi needs to get banned from the league. He's getting far too little hate for this part in this. Oh, 100%. I think like the Clippers should be fined immensely and Kawhi Leonard should get suspended for a while. Pablo, what? Yeah, the thing is, that's always he reason. And I'm so tired of it. Yeah, that just sounds like somebody who's toxic and is always going to like make, their own problems, their own issue, your problems. And you don't need that in your life. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Oiler's talking about with karate. Like, I'm very confused here. Kawhi and Ballmer should be permabanned. I mean, I think you could make the exception. I think you could maybe make the case for Steve Ballmer. I don't know. You're Kawhi Leonard and you have a chance to make all that extra money. Why wouldn't you take it? I think Kawhi Leonard a 1 year suspension would be fine. Ever show you guys this? I just noticed it. I forgot I had it. Check this out. Stupidest thing I ever bought. Cocky the Gamecock. I bought it in Virginia Beach. I'm not even a South Carolina guy. I just saw this and I'm like, this is so fucking cool. And it's on my fucking work desk. And when I say work, I mean this. This is work. 19 years old, Jello. I think I hate myself for being gay because at a young age, I didn't have skills to develop thick skin and I grew up in an environment in which I was told being gay is bad. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Mix. It's like a tough thing where, like, you grow up in a situation where people are going to make it seem like it's bad. And it sucks because, like, you've been pretty much groomed into that. And what sucks is you should be who you want to be. You should go out there, and it's not easy. I could just say that all I want. I'm not a gay man. I don't know what you've gone through. But the day you accept yourself is the day you're going to live a happy life. And you should, because there's nothing wrong with being gay. Go out there, be yourself. I provided drugs to the young and needy. Oh my God, what? Kawhi should get 30-plus games and Ballmer should for the entire season. What I was trying to say is don't hide what you are. Don't say you're down the middle when you're not. Mike, I am down the middle. Just when I disagree with you, you like to try to put me on the other side. I'm not on the other side. Not at all. You just don't like when I disagree with you. Like, I'm not hiding from anything. I've been very open about what I've done. I told you I voted for Joe Biden in 2020. I voted for Donald Trump this last time around. What, how much more open can I be? I think you're just trying to demonize me so you can feel better about me disagreeing with your opinion. And that's just, like, ridiculous. As an adult, I realize I'm 100% responsible for my own emotions and respect other people's right to have a different opinion about homosexuality. Yeah. Dude, you know what? Mixed martial arts, the best thing I've ever heard. Best thing anybody's ever told me, best piece of advice I've ever been given. It only matters if you care. Like, if you can go out there, if you can live your life and you can be who you want to be and not listen to other people's opinion, which is never easy. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do. But the second you stop letting these people that they have they're the problem, it's their own problem, it's their own issue. The second you stop letting them tell you what to do is the second you're going to be able to live your life in the best way possible. I'm trying to think of the best way to say, it's not going to be easy. I understand you've been groomed to feel like it's wrong to be gay. It is not wrong to be gay. Be comfortable with yourself, be you, and you'll be, you'll live the happiest life you can live being yourself. You should never feel bad for who you are, ever, no matter what it is. Kawhi, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid is making me hate the league. How so? Read my comment. What'd you say? I did. That you provide drugs to the young and needy. I saw that. Yeah, so I've given him 4 different chances. I told him it was the last one to never even look at me again or I'm press charges. Yeah, I think you should just move on. But whatever. It's your own life. To each their own. Drake said in his upcoming unreleased song, when you were a part of the take, we used to be planning our Mexico trips in the spring because Kawhi did we think you could get us a ring. What? Did he really? The David case is getting so much worse. Every time I look at it, it's getting worse and worse. And it's something that's a case that they should be talking way more about. Anyway, just stay away from Christian nationalists. 100%. Jocelyn, I think you could say that about 99% of situations. Those are another people like that. I think that the Christian nationalist side is like that's an extreme side. Us straight people are getting scammed anyways. Doesn't taste like cookie. You know what? Somebody said it. There was a comedian that said it, like, about being gay. How, like, it might have been Shane Gillis was saying how, like, you know, for the most part, like, us straight guys, like, you know, when you think about being gay, it would be the coolest shit ever. Like, imagine just, like, you know, growing up and living your life and moving in with somebody who, like, you know, he's one of your buddies that you watch football with. Like, he goes, obviously that's not how it usually goes, but, like, you know, like, it kind of seems like the coolest thing ever when you dissect it a little bit. This is who was Drake talking about? I have no idea. The only David I know is David Dayton. What? Loki, I just want to be petty and date the girl's ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a little too petty. I think you got to start doing stuff to benefit yourself. Like, Angelo, it tastes like pennies. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much a mouthful of pennies. Like, welcome to sex ed. Inuit Dome is a really cool venue. When I saw Linkin Park on September 13th, it did. You saw Linkin Park at the Intuit Dome? I'm fucking jealous. I would love to see Linkin Park. I love Linkin Park. How do you guys know? What do you mean? How do I know? I fucking know, dude. I fucking know. It's simple. Like, and I'm not trying to brag. It's not a fucking brag. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta go scuba diving. You know, it's just sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That fucking CVS moonshine, baby. Hits like a fucking charm. Wait, who was Drake talking about? I have no idea. Who was he talking about? That Nathan dude was so unhinged, though. Yeah, he came in here. He came in hot, you know. Drake is a trash artist. I like Drake's early work. I can say that about a lot of artists where I like their early stuff and, like, recently I don't like a lot of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming an old fucking boomer. But Drake's another one where I like his early stuff and the more music he makes, the less I like it. But yeah, Nathan's a strong, opinionated man. I think the shit he was saying about women was crazy, but Drake and Kendrick are both washed as fuck. 100%. Religion is toxic. The world would be better off without it. Derek, I think that's like a double-edged sword there. I think there's a lot of people that use religion for benefits, like, you know, to guide them. And I think there's plenty of people who find God and change their lives. I think in some ways religion can be good, but religion also has been toxic where it's caused wars. You know, it's causing problems right now in the Middle East. You know, it's a double-edged sword. I think religion taken in the wrong context could be toxic. I think for some people that just use it as guidance, I don't think it's an issue. Like, I am petty. My girl cheated on me with Juan. I don't know what happened. I know. Wait, you know about it too, Jocelyn? What do you mean? Hold on. Wait. What? Both of them ended up with Cinderella blocks. What? Drake stuff 2014 and before is my shit. I'm with you, Jocelyn. I think Drake was so good. I think 2014 was his peak. And I just got really fucking lightheaded. Hold on. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm sorry. That was really weird. Hold on. Give me a minute. The fuck is going on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I just got really dizzy. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know if my blood sugar is low, but I know if I stood up right now, I'd pass out. Oh, let me try. Should I test it out on stream? I'm fine. I'm actually okay now. I don't know what the fuck that was. Should I test it out? Should I try to stand up? That was weird. I just got like a little sudden rush of like dizziness, but I'm good. I'm okay. Yeah, that was very odd. Might be the hat. Like, might be cutting off circulation in my brain. I'm good. I'm actually okay now. The room just like totally like started spinning on. Oh, now I'm spitting. The room just like spun on me there a little bit, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, can we meet at Costco like usual for a meetup? No, Costco. Sometimes when you move, yeah. I think I just like took a. I think I just took a big like movement. Like I kind of moved my head quick. I think I'm okay. That was just like really weird. I'm good. Like the whole room, like I looked down at my floor and the floor, it was like, you ever go through like one of those haunted houses where the fucking floor is spinning? That just got. Maybe I'm just taking the drugs that Flay's drug dealer's giving me. Like holy shit. I'm okay. Flay, when you used to smoke weed, did you get weed shakes the next day? No, I never did. Weed shakes. I would just when I smoked weed, I would wake up at like fucking 1:30. Your ears are your balance? Yeah, my ears are huge, so I got great balance, so maybe that's why. Maybe it was because my ears were covered. That could be it. But that was really fucking weird. I'm okay though, guys. I appreciate it. That didn't feel good at all. I thought I was gonna fall off the chair, honestly. Lay's drug dealer needs to go. You know, it's a good little addition. I've been on dates with girls. Good for you, Jocelyn. You know, broadening your horizons. I respect that. What about cats? Cats like the deli? That's not that close to me. It's mostly edibles, but the next day it's hard to describe, to be honest, but you get the weirdest dizzy feeling for like 0.5 seconds throughout the day. I don't think I've ever had that. If I did, I don't remember it. I can't lie. The crystal you got last week is the new cook, some guy named Walt Disney White. Oh, God. That's a fucking wild question there, Cord. I'm not going to repeat that. But I love him, so I might let it slide for like a week. I'm going to tell him and should be open and tell people we're together. It's fair. Is Breece Hall going to wake the hell up? That's a great question. I've actually thought Breece Hall's looked pretty good. He's looked pretty explosive. I don't know. I feel like Breece Hall's been okay. Breece Hall is worse than Allen. Braylon Allen definitely has a lot more potential, but I feel like Breece Hall's been running a little harder recently. Today's rap music is crap. Rap is crap. I think there's rap music that's good. Yeah, I wasn't gonna ask that. Religion may have some good, but I think Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is very. I would have traded him. That's just me. You're not listening to the right rappers. I think there's plenty of rappers that are solid right now. There's plenty of rappers out there that are great. I love rap music still. I just think guys like Kendrick and Drake have lost their fucking touch. And I'll say Eminem too. I love Eminem, but I cannot listen to his new shit ever. It pains me. It's fucking painful. Damn, bro, 16 people in the fucking horizontal chat. What the hell is going on here? How's life? I'm chilling. You know, life's good. I'm trying to, you know, I keep trying to get this shit going. I keep trying to, you know, I would love to fucking create my career in media. This is what I'm doing here, but it is what it is. Real hip hop isn't on the radio. 100%. You're not getting the real stuff on the radio. But vibes for the most part, you know, life's just life. It doesn't change. It doesn't change very often. Kendrick became a cornball. Eminem became too police and technical, and Drake thinks he's gangster. I agree. Yeah, Euler. Yeah, Euler. Let's not go. This is like getting a little bit cringy. But no, you're right. You got to find the stuff like you got to find it on Spotify, find it on your own. Yeah, I feel bad for Jocelyn. The second Jocelyn mentions anything, you get all the fucking people in here going, oh, what about this? What about that? Like, for fuck's sakes. I mean, political. No, I agree. I knew what you meant. I just read out police. I was like, I didn't feel like correcting it. That was really fucking weird. I'm sweating like a motherfucker. I got 16 ounces of this new weed called Warm Purple Gorilla Piss IPA. I don't think I would ever smoke something like that. That's what you get for disagreeing with me. Just yeah, Mike, you saw that, right? Listen, the second you start disagreeing with Mike, you start getting like a fucking voodoo doll on you. I'm good though. I think I'm okay. Hold on, I'm gonna cut the camera off for a second and just stand up because. Hold on. I'm taking a couple steps across the room. And I made it. And I'm coming back. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. Beautiful. I think it was just the hat was on too tight. It was kind of fucking up my ears. Grill Jesus. You see me? No, you don't. Ever since I stopped smoking weed, my eyes actually work. For me, the whole thing with my reasoning for stopping smoking weed was just because, I got paranoid. I got really fucking paranoid. That was what it came down to. Was the paranoia from smoking weed. How do your eyes not work when you smoke? Wait, yeah. Hold on. I didn't even ask that. I was going to let that go, but what do you mean by that? You don't know what tamales are? I know they're like a dish. I know they're some sort of food. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Weed is way too addictive for me. I'm not going to lie. I wish my friends never got me into this world sometimes. I think a lot of people, they smoke weed for like the comfort of it. It turns into a thing where like they like to see the world through like their eyes when they're smoking. I got like that. I was like that in college, but I had to stop because I got too fucking paranoid about everything. I'm somebody who panics very easily. I'm not gonna like hide that fact. I'm absolutely somebody that like I would smoke weed and start thinking about all the wrong shit to think about, and it fucked me up, dude. Absolutely fucked me up. I probably shortened my lifespan around 15 years. I would say I've shortened my lifespan enough that I can't believe I'm still here. Like, I don't think that's a crazy thing for me to say. No, I'm kidding. That is a little bit nuts. That would be going a little bit too far with it for me to say that. I'm not that unhealthy, but shit happens. But I'm just checking. All right. I'm surprised that the horizontal stream. Okay. Horizontal stream's doing better numbers tonight than the vertical, and I like that. I'm in on that. 6'3". Wait, what? I'm 6'1.5". Actually, I'm officially calling it 6'2". Wait, now you know what wait, what is it? Tamales are goated? What are they? I didn't see. The lungs got to be black right now. Oh yeah, that's not good. You definitely don't want to affect your lungs. I'll tell you that like my lungs probably aren't great just because like I dealt with not secondhand smoke, but like my grandma's house was like a fucking chimney when growing up, and I would go over there a lot, so I might have my lungs might be a little bit rough. Do girls actually like tall guys? I mean, wait, Blade, what do you know? Tamales 4 weeks. I don't know what. I don't know. No way Jocelyn is a half a foot taller than me. If Jocelyn stood next to me in heels, she'd be taller than me. I'm the tallest female in my family. Jocelyn is just Paige Becker's alt account. Do girls actually like tall guys? I think for the most part, it definitely helps. I think when a guy's tall, like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why, because I'm not somebody who likes tall guys. But I can tell you that being a little bit taller definitely helps. Why do I have like a fucking soul patch going on here? For fuck's sake. Do I just trim this whole thing? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Forget it. Do you view me differently now that I'm 6'3"? Oiler, what do you think is going to happen? Well, like, honest question. I'm trying not to use carts outside of my friends and shit. Switch to edibles, don't die at 50. That's fair. Yeah, Oiler, what are you talking about, man? At least, I miss my dad. Oh, shit. Well, that's horrible. I'm saying that knowing damn well I ain't going through with it. I see. Listen, a lot of people, you say things sometimes, try to speak them into existence, and sometimes it doesn't work out. See, it's working? I don't think it is. I don't know what you're trying to work here, but I don't think it's working. Weed never bothered me when I smoked it, but I never get the urge to really need it. Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat where I didn't get the urge to need it, but every time I smoked it, like I said, I just became a wreck, dude. There's a lot going on in my life. It looks like I'm bald, but I'm not. That was a tough look at my hairline, but I actually got a pretty good, compared to the rest of my family, my hairline's not that bad. No, I'm just kidding. My hairline's got the same, my hairline. My family has the same hairline, like everybody in the family. Like my fucking 40-year-old cousin has the same shit. W hair reveal. It's not terrible. I definitely have a fucking peak going. It looks like I'm losing my hair, but dude, the top of my head is misshapen. Maybe someday I'll show you guys. Like maybe I'll just buzz my head and show you. So A little fun fact about me, right? Jocelyn, have a good night, by the way. A little fun fact about me is when I was born, I popped out feet first, so I slid right out. Oh, that's gross. Why would I say it like that? But anyway, it was like a fucking, like, whatever. And the doctor was pulling me out. My head was fucking huge. So, obviously when you're that young, you know, the top of your head isn't like, you know, it's not hard yet. So when pulling me out, the little piece on top of my head got stuck. And when it got pulled out, like, there's a bump on top of my head that's just permanent. Like, my head goes like this and then up a little bit. So it's automatically fucking up my hairline because my hair just doesn't grow right. But my hairline's been the same thing. I have pictures of me in fucking 6th grade where people were looking at me like, you're going to fucking lose your hair. It's gone. Nope. I've had the same fucking hairline since I was in 6th grade. Hasn't even fucking receded one bit. Shave it all off? No, I don't need to. Maybe if I get to 10,000 subs, I'll just fucking shave it. I'll Will Compton myself. So if I'm really skinny but tall, I should get any girl, right? You gotta have some fucking game too. There's a reason I use it. It's simply because it quite literally makes everything fun. Yeah, and listen, that's to each their own, man. I wouldn't condemn you for that. But does everybody in your family have bad hairlines? Everybody on my mom's side. Every single one of my cousins on my mom's side has a terrible hairline. But I have cousins who are like in their 40s and 50s who have that bad hairline and haven't lost their hair. You know? Fuck was that? There's always like little creaks in this fucking house, dude. Well, there gotta be like 13. I have no idea. Corey, that's a stretch. If I was 6'1", I would be an absolute fucking beast with girls. I had to get nerfed. I mean, here's the thing, Goated. Once you hit your growth spurt, once your growth spurt happens, you know, I grew up fat and ugly. Like, when I was in high school, the only way I was talking to girls was by making them laugh. So, I was fat and ugly growing up. And now that I'm older and I lost a little bit of weight, I'm just ugly. So, I already got, I was nerfed growing up because I was fat and ugly. I had to be the funny guy. It's the best thing. It's the best way to grow up nerfed because once you get to the right age, you're going to be great at it. Trust me. You're hitting the growth spurt. Don't worry. Oiler needs to go to bed. It's past his bedtime, eh? In your middle school photo, you were not fat, you were tall. Yeah, I mean, I was probably not that chubby, but I was chubbier than I am now. User brain, folks, have you ever seen a 6'3" 13-year-old? Yes. What are you kidding me? 100%. I'm at the average age a guy stops growing. Huh. I mean, I know people who hit growth spurts like their freshman year of college. And yeah, 6'3", 13-year-old. I definitely. You ever watch the Little League World Series? For fuck's sake, those kids are fucking massive. Flay needs a lineup. I don't. You couldn't. If you lined me up, I'd look worse. %70 of guys are done growing by 16. I was done when I was 14. That was the last year I grew. There was a kid when I was in sixth, headed. He was 8th. He was like 6'8". Jeez, 6'8". I mean, there's something in the water nowadays. There's a lot of kids that like pop, like they're fucking huge. Happens a lot. Or like it's just like they've gotten like this unfair advantage of being fucking massive, dude. Alright, cool. Face and hair. Girls stop growing at 14, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the biology of that. I don't know the anatomy of all that. I'm not an expert in that. But I know people like guys. I have guy friends who went to college and came back fucking gigantic, like fucking beanstalks, dude. Girls stop growing at 14, I think. Wait. My mom was 5'11" at 11 and never grew after that. Damn. 5'11" at 11. She must have been dominating fucking like volleyball and fucking all those sports. Jeez. My mom's decently tall. The fuck was that stare? I kind of had like a second of like dizziness again. I was just kind of like, I kind of was just looking because I like lost it for a second. I'm gonna drink like a fucking. I have a Gatorade in my fridge. I don't know. I've been running a little bit more now, and I'm trying to lose weight. Like, I might be fucking overdoing it. So, RJ, what's up, man? How the fuck are we? We've been hovering around 10 people this entire stream on the horizontal channel. This is great. Fucking awesome. I might just stick to the horizontal view from now on. If that's what this is going to be, if this is how it's going to go, I would love that. My mom was not the Church League MVP, though. Oh, no, none of us were. None of our moms were. Jocelyn's a rare breed. I I would consider you, I ain't gay. Oh. My favorite ever concert was Drake vs. Lil Wayne summer 2014 in Charlotte. I went to Drake vs. Lil Wayne 2014 at Forest Hill Stadium here in New York. Great concert. They've said my age many times. If you were real Flay, you would remember. I mean, I'm going to take a fucking wild guess. What'd you say? You're 21, right? Or 20? Fred VanVleet out for the year. Rockets panic. What'd you say? I think you said you were 19 or 20, if I remember. I don't know. A lot of people throw their age in here. I don't remember everybody's age. I think I wouldn't call it like a panic for the Rockets. I think, Fred VanVleet is a big loss. He's a great point guard. I think the Rockets should be able to overcome that by with adding a guy like KD. We'll see. VanVleet's a big loss one way or another. But there's enough talent on that roster to fill the holes, fill the gap. Jocelyn's 31. So am I. Hey, look at that. Look at us. Court's 22. Doesn't really matter. Good role player, though. I mean, solid point guard. Derek, they literally have no ball handler, and no, Amen cannot handle the ball. Yeah, it's going to be a lot on Jalen Green, and he's... Oh, wait, no, he got traded. What the fuck am I talking about? Who the fuck am I? Thompson can play point guard. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they have enough talent on that roster to work through it. And the only way to get a point guard is through trade, and they'd have to gut their depth. I have NFL ball knowledge. Let's hear it then. Let's go for it. Insufficient shooting the ball. He barely shot 40%. He was massive in the postseason, though. Like, he had some big games, but you're right. Like, Fred VanVleet, you're not like... You're not losing a ton of sleep over it. It's a loss. Ask you a question? Okay. About the NFL. Huh. Worst quarterback that beats Lamar Jackson? Yeah, that's a good question. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks there, Aaron. Let's hear it. I'm 26, but I say I'm 30. So you lied to me. That would not look good on my resume. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, man. What do you mean that wouldn't look good on your resume? Rest in peace, Rudy. Yes, Rudy Johnson. That's a... that's a legend. Not like great football player, but a guy who played football and a guy who's a memorable name, top 5 all time. Right now and all time, one of each, like one list of each. Who is Rudy Johnson? He was a running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. Died today or yesterday. I don't know. When was it? Was it yesterday? Today? One way or another. Sad death. You never want to see anybody die. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. All right, never mind. Never mind. I'm back. Something just popped up. Let's see. Let's see. RJ Lupin, really good Bengals running back in the 2000s. I think he died today at CTE. That's horrible. Josh Allen is the worst quarterback that defeats Lamar Jackson. Wow. Do you think Josh Allen's worse than Jared Goff? I'm also 31. Look at us. We all came together. RJ Lupin, Oiler confidence is genuinely the most important thing. They're not going to come for you. Let him tall and have a face and hair, but no confidence. Can I get a girl? Confidence is the biggest key. Confidence needs to become your strength, and it'll work every time. You'll be fine. Just walk in with a boat of confidence, and the worst thing that could happen is girl says no. That's what it comes down to. Be yourself. All time, one Brady, Montana, Manning, Rodgers, Breeze. Okay. I'm really getting fucking tired here, guys. I am struggling, but I'm trying to keep going because I'm loving the discussions we're having. I'm loving having you guys around. I'm loving how we got 11 people watching right now. This is great. How can I make friends as an adult male? It's a tough question. How can I make friends as an adult male? I don't know. Go out places, go to events, go to things like go somewhere to watch a game. Just like shoot the shit with somebody next to you. It's easy to become friends with guys. All you got to do is have the same fucking, interests. Remember Jimmy Kimmel starts in half an hour. No, he actually started 2.5 hours ago. Well, at least on your side. So, sorry, Mike, I'll wrap it up before Kimmel starts for you. I know your hero is back. Like, I won't ever get in the way of that. I think the Rockets will manage without him, but it's definitely a big loss. I agree. I got Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Montana, Elway. All 5 viewers are rejoicing for Kimmel. Listen, I think I said my thing about Jimmy Kimmel, my piece on him is I think late night television just sucks. Girls think about me, right? I don't know. Maybe? Derek, I'm a Manning hater, but bro genuinely was inaccurate as shit. He was inaccurate deep throwing the ball. He was like... Peyton Manning was such a football savant. His brain made him so good at the quarterback position when a lot of the natural skills weren't entirely there. We made it work. I think leaving Peyton Manning out of the top 5 is crazy as well. I'm with you on that, Derek. I think Baker wins MVP this year. 3 games, 3 winning drives, 3-0. Yeah, I don't know. I think Josh Allen probably sums it up. Yeah, Derek, I'd have Peyton Manning number 2 also. I'm with you on that. I think that's a little bit nuts. Right now, 1 Lamar Jackson, 2 Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jaden maybe. Okay. I'd have Josh Allen number 1 and by a long margin currently. I feel if I'm tall and they think about me, even if I don't approach they won't want me, but they want me because if a girl looks at you, what does that mean? If a girl looks at you, you gotta dissect the view, what she looks at. Not always a good look. You gotta be able to read girls. You'll figure it out. I also feel like there's no way you're 19. If you're asking me all those questions, jeez. RJ Lupin winning a game by 10 is better than almost losing to a shitty teams but pulling through. Yeah, I think right now Josh Allen is the runaway MVP. Elway is not better than Favre. I think that's a tough one. I think Brett Favre was a little bit overhyped, in my opinion. I'm almost 20. I stand by Breeze being the greatest quarterback of all time who got an extremely unlucky situation. I think Drew Brees is the number 3 all the time. I'd put Brady, Manning, Breeze, and then Rodgers, probably Montana. I think that's more so the idea of football evolving that I put that. I think I'm a big fan of newer players because I think the game is just a lot faster. But I'm not a Brett Favre guy at all. Bucks currently have the worst offensive line in football due to injuries. There's some pretty bad offensive lines out there. I think the Bucks are doing a pretty good job. Brady, Montana, Peyton, Unitas, and Breeze. Baker, Bacon, and 3 straight MVPs and 0 MVPs with Elway. Oh. I want a girl, but how to bring her home? I want a girl, but how to bring her home? Just have the confidence, you know. It's all a confidence thing, man. Breeze got scammed out of like 6 MVPs, LMAO. He did. Drew Brees should have won far more MVPs. Absolutely. Dude, they had like 11 holding penalties against the Jets on Sunday. Yeah, they were committing a lot of penalties, but hey. Euler, I feel like you should be asking like ChatGPT these questions. Your guys' disrespect to Joe Montana is insane. I'm not trying to disrespect Joe Montana. He's a very successful all-time quarterback. I just think the game has evolved so much that I don't think Joe Montana would be the same guy if he played today. I look at it based on how I look at a guy skill-wise. What do you mean you're not a breath for a friend just because he's a liar and a wait, what? What do you mean you're not a breath for a friend just because he's a liar and a what do you mean? Joe Montana's a cutie, he goes. What do you mean by that? I don't even know what that means. You have to adjust players for their error like Bill. Yeah, I guess so. You're right. Like, when it comes to it, I should be a little bit more in tune with that. The Mariners, dude. Fucking Mariners, dude. I feel like you could help fight. Like, AI is not human. You're right. Girls, so you have game. I mean, yeah, it's the confidence thing, man. It's all about confidence. That's it. You're right, Goated. I need to look at it from that perspective. But, like, I still stand by, I think Brady, Manning, Breeze are the 3 best quarterbacks ever. I think the Mariners are very legit. 100%. I was at a Pro Bowler's son's wedding. Whose? Make no mistake, I would consensually... Oh, Jesus. If you think Judge is the MVP, you have the IQ of 40 tops. Why is that? Can I ask why, Goated? Because I think it's tough. I think you can make an argument for either one. And I think it's all based on your interpretation of what the MVP is. If by the letter of what it's called, like most valuable player to their roster, it's fucking Cal Raleigh. I think, like, you know, Cal Raleigh absolutely is the most important player to their team in the American League, excuse me. Now, if you're giving the MVP to the best player in the American League, it's Aaron Judge. Like, Aaron Judge has still put up better numbers in most ways than Cal Raleigh. But I think you can give it to either one. Like, the numbers. If you stack the numbers up against each other, Aaron Judge is still having a better year. But the importance of what Cal Raleigh does night in and night out, catching, having a pitching staff, you know, being like an elite defensive catcher, it's the most important position on the field, is catching. And then hitting all these home runs. Like, I think if I had to vote, I'd vote Cal Raleigh. I would be voting Cal Raleigh for the MVP. It depends on what your interpretation is of the most valuable player award is. And I really need to get rid of this fucking soul patch. Because this is ridiculous. Brady's a GOAT, but I do not want him on my Raiders. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want him either. You know, there's a big difference between being a great player and being a great fucking, you know, front office guy. It doesn't, you know, come together that simply. Who are the top 5 cutest quarterbacks in NFL history? I have no fucking idea, dude. Top 5 cutest quarterbacks in NFL history. I'm lost on that one. I'm not really sure. But guys, I am going to hop off. I'm still getting a little dizzy. I want to hop off before Mike misses any of Kimmel. You guys have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate you guys stopping by.